It's my 8th concert that I've got booked this year. Creepy and deliciously dark. I read most of it in a single sitting. Hi everyone, welcome to my next weekly reading vlog. What am I reading in this vlog? So to start with, I'm reading Valley Verified by Kyla Zhao. This is a NetGalley arc that I have, although it has already been published. You'll find that a lot of the NetGalley arcs I read have already been published. Unfortunately, that's because I'm quite behind on my NetGalley TBR. That is going to come in another video soon, which is going to be all of the books that I have on my NetGalley shelf. Quite disgraceful, really. But anyway. So I'm reading that on NetGalley. I believe I'm over 100 pages into it, but about 105. I'm enjoying it more than I thought that I would. I didn't enjoy this author's debut book, which was The Fraud Squad. I really was looking forward to that book and I just really didn't end up enjoying it. I can't remember what I rated it now. It was quite a low read for me though. So I went into this apprehensively and also with the mindset that if I didn't enjoy this then it would kind of be the last chance that I gave this author, at least for a while, because I kind of just think that there's no point in continuing to read books from an author if I'm just not gelling with them. I'm 100-ish pages into Valley Verified and I am enjoying it more than I thought that I would, although it's still not a standout read to me. It's set in Silicon Valley and this woman Zoe has moved from New York City where she had a career in fashion. She was a writer for a fashion magazine and she moved to Silicon Valley after she was offered a job at this startup tech firm. They were building an app and this app has something to do with trying on outfits or seeing how outfits would look on your body type, which is quite an interesting concept. It's just that the dialogue feels very stilted and we just dove right into this book with kind of no real introduction or even like background as to why she really wanted to leave her job in fashion that she's done all this training for and has worked for all of her life up until now, and she's just moved to this job in tech. I would have preferred if we'd had at least one chapter at the start where we saw a bit more about why she disliked her job so much, but we'll see how it goes. I just don't think that this is going to be a standout read, and once again I'm just not sure that I'll give this author another chance after this. The physical book that I'm reading is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Katu. I picked this up because I knew that this was going to be a sad read and I kind of wanted to have quite an emotional read, and it's so quick and easy to read. I literally read 160 pages at work so far today and it was really great. So this is set in Syria during the time of war and I will read you out the synopsis because I didn't go into it really knowing that much about it other than the fact that it was going to be a very sad read. I know that a lot of people have really loved this book as well, so I'm really excited to see if I love it just as much. I am owed a life that does not end in tragedy. A year ago, before the revolution, Salama watched her brother marry her best friend Layla and wondered when her own love story might begin. Now she works at the hospital, helping those she can, closing the eyes of those she can't. Layla and her unborn baby are all Salama has left. Unless you count Kof, but he's a hallucination, a symptom of the horrors she's seen. Every day he urges Salama to leave. Every day she refuses. Until she crosses paths with Keenan, the boy with the vivid green eyes who wants to stay and risk his life for everything Syria could be. I just think that this sounds like it's going to be really great and I am really enjoying what I've read so far, so hopefully I'll continue to enjoy it. So yeah, I'll check in with you guys a bit later and see where I am up to. It is now Wednesday. I don't really have much of a reading update for you. I'm still reading As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow and Valley Verified, and I'm now about 2/3 of the way through both of them. Not really that much for a reading update, but this morning my friend Erin and I are going to try and get tickets for Luke Hemmings' tour that he's announced. So his tour date is on the 16th of May, and we're actually going to see Olivia Rodrigo on the 15th of May, so we're going to have a very busy week if we do get tickets, but fingers crossed. It is now Thursday, so yesterday my friend and I did not manage to get the concert tickets that we wanted, very sadly, so that was unfortunate, but we are going to be trying to get tickets tomorrow, so hopefully I will let you know if we do. Hi, editing Millie popping in here to say that we did in fact get the tickets, although O2 Priority pre-sale failed us and was a complete nightmare. We were able to get tickets, or should I say Erin was able to get tickets in the end for the second show that was added. So we weren't able to get tickets for the show that we were originally wanting to go to, which was on the 16th of May, but a second show was added for the 17th of May, and that's when we're going. So very excited, very exciting. So I'm really looking forward to that. We also got standing tickets as well, which I normally don't enjoy standing for concerts. The only concert I've ever stood for was Maisie Peters, and that was last year, and that was kind of a nightmare. So hoping that the venue for this one will be better than what it was for when I saw Maisie Peters, because standing for that was not fun and you could barely see her. But Luke Hemmings is a very tall man, so should be able to see him, hopefully. And the venue only holds, I think, about 2,000, 3,000 people, so hopefully it won't be as much of a nightmare. And I'm really looking forward to it. That's going to be it's my 8th concert that I've got booked this year, but it's like the second one of the 8 that I'm going to. So it's going to be a very busy summer. But yeah, I realised I never actually filmed a clip saying whether we got tickets or not, but we did. We got them. But I do have a reading update for you. I actually finished both of my current reads. So I finished As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, and I've also finished Valley Verified. So I'll talk about Valley Verified first. I ended up rating it 2.5 stars, which is not great. There was just a lot about it that I felt was unrealistic, and I also just felt that the characters were really two-dimensional. There was a lot of workplace drama going on, and I just never felt that connected to the characters. I just never felt like the main character Zoe was someone that I really believed was real, and all of the side characters as well were really indistinguishable from each other. There were 2 side characters that Zoe worked with who were both like these sort of tech bros or whatever, and if you asked me to describe each of them in detail, they would be the exact same person. I wouldn't know the difference. So that's why I rated that on 2.5 stars. But I also finished As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. I think that was Valley Verified's downfall, was I was reading it alongside As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, because you had Valley Verified, where I felt that the characters were really two-dimensional, where I felt that I couldn't connect to the characters or remember who they were. And then you had As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, where the characters felt so genuinely real. I ended up rating this 4.5 stars in the end, mainly because my expectations of it were slightly too high. I was expecting that I would cry more than I did, but it was still a very emotional read. Set in war-torn Syria, it's completely heartbreaking, but there's also a lot of hope, and the main character just felt like she could genuinely be a real person. Like, this was almost like a memoir that I was reading. Very glad to have finally read this. It is just absolutely beautiful. And also, As Long as Lemon Trees Grow was actually on my 2024 TBR, so this was my 7th book I've read, my 24 books in 2024, so that's very exciting. Now I need to pick my next reads. So my next NetGalley read is going to be My Throat an Open Grave by Tori Bovolino. This is a very short sort of YA horror, and I've only read 26 pages this morning, but so far the sort of main plot of the book has already begun, which is quite exciting for such a short book because we're diving right in. Main character Leah was babysitting her 9-month-old brother. Her mum has gone out to work, so she's babysitting. She leaves the window open. They live near these woods where all of the town have this like folk tale of this, I don't really know what he is, this creature that lives in the woods called the Lord of the Woods. So she's babysitting her brother, she leaves the window open, and she ends up falling asleep for just 10 minutes. And she discovers that in her brother's place in the crib has been left a bundle of sticks. So her brother has been taken by this Lord of the Woods. At the end of the chapter I just read, she is going to this church and they're going to offer her up to go and make a bargain with the Lord of the Woods to try and get her brother back. So I'm really enjoying this already, and I'm only 26 pages in. Now it's time to pick my next physical read. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing that I did last time, which is to spin a wheel to decide what category of books I'm going to read. The categories that I've got on here actually are BookBox books, so that is books that I've received from Illumicrate, Fairy Loot, Owlcrate when I was subscribed to them a few years ago, and that could be either the monthly reads or any special editions I've ordered. I've also got series continuations, so I'm in the middle of a lot of series at the minute, over 40, it's mental. So I have a category for series that I need to continue, so it's the next book in the series that I need to read. I also have my 24 books in 2024 to read, my arcs, so any physical arcs that I own, so that is ones that are still to be published and also ones that have already been published and I didn't get around to reading. And then I also have the category of NetGalley, so that is any books that are both on my NetGalley shelf but I also own physically. So that means that these ones have already been published, so that means that my NetGalley book has been archived, so therefore I really need to catch up on those. And then we just have the general category of books to read, so that's my entire physical TBR, so that is a very, very long list of books. So let's spin to find out which category we're going to be reading from. NetGalley. Okay, I was hoping for that because I have so much that I need to catch up on. And now let's spin to find out which book it's going to be. Ooh, A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. Okay, let me go and find it. Okay, so the book that was picked was A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal, which is really exciting. This, as you can see, is not a finished copy. It is a proof copy, which I received from the publishers, so thank you very much to Macmillan. I am really excited for this. I've heard such amazing things. This is Hafsa Faisal's latest book. She is the author of We Hunt the Flame, which is a very beloved YA fantasy series, and I believe that this is set in the same world but doesn't follow any of the same characters. I've only read the first book in the We Hunt the Flame duology. I haven't read We Free the Stars yet, but I really need to get around to reading it. So I believe I've heard that this is Six of Crows meets Peaky Blinders with vampires, which is an insane premise. The little blurb on the back says, Arfi Casimir's tea room is a front for an illegal bloodhouse. When the tea room and its secrets come under threat, Arfi must lead a gang of outcasts into a high-stakes heist. That was hard to say. And the dark vampire underworld. Here she faces a dangerous conspiracy and an unexpected romance. Yeah, I'm really excited to pick this up. It's just over 330 pages, so not a very long book, and I'm hoping that I'll fly through this because I just know that so many people love it. So very excited to be picking this one up and that I will be crossing another book off of my NetGalley shelf. I will catch up with you guys in a bit. I'm going to go and film a new video, which you'll hopefully see before this vlog comes out. See you in a bit. welcome back to another little pre-bed, sitting on the floor reading update. Seems to be becoming a staple in my weekly reading vlogs. So I've not read any of A Tempest of Tea yet, but I am going to read some of that now. But I have been reading My Throat an Open Grave by Tora Bovolino, which, as I said, is my NetGalley read, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm 80 pages in already, so that's already nearly halfway because it's only 207 pages, and it is so creepy and deliciously dark and really atmospheric. It would be absolutely perfect for spooky season. I think it's really great. I think the short length of it, being only 207 pages, just sort of adds to this atmosphere because it feels very tense at the minute. Like, there's a lot of a religious aspect that I wasn't expecting, so that's quite interesting that that's being added into the mix. There's quite a lot going on considering only the very short length of it, but I am really enjoying it and I'm very excited to see where it will go. And I'm also really excited to now get into A Tempest of Tea. I realised that this little fake sticker thing up here says an intoxicating brew of secrets, vampires and romance. And I just keep hearing such great things about A Tempest of Tea, so very excited. So now, let's get into it. It is Saturday, I'm at work, I'm just reading on my lunch. I am absolutely loving A Tempest of Tea. It is incredible. And another incredible read was My Throat an Open Grave, which I finished last night. I read most of it in a single sitting and it was just so good. It was so creepy and dark, and I actually wasn't expecting the romance that was involved either, but I loved it. They had great chemistry. It was so amazing. So I really want to buy myself a physical copy of that because I only read it on NetGalley. Really, really great. But for now, I'm going to carry on reading A Tempest of Tea. I am 233 pages in out of, was it 330? Yeah, out of 338, so about 100 pages left. So hopefully I'll be able to read a lot more in the rest of my lunch and on my break, and maybe I'll even finish this today and I'll be on a roll. Hello. Okay, so I've now finished work and I have just literally this second finished A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. So I think it's going to be a 4-star read. It had a very twisty ending. There was a lot going on, which makes me very excited for the sequel whenever that's going to come. This was so easy to read. It was so quick and fast paced. I was literally flying through it. The characters were really interesting as well. They all felt really distinguishable and really genuine. I think Hafsa Faisal has a really amazing way with characters of making them just feel so real and like actual real people, so that was really fun. And I really liked the little callbacks we got to the We Hunt the Flame series. I need to still finish that duology to properly catch all of the references, but I really like that as well. And I really loved the addition of vampires in here, but it was really, really enjoyable, and I'm really excited for the sequel now after that surprise ending. I don't have any other current reads at the minute. I haven't started another NetGalley read, although I believe I'll be starting In the Shallows by Tanya Byrne, which is a YA sapphic contemporary. I believe it's about these two girls were best friends, and then one of them was in some sort of accident, like she almost drowned or something and lost all of her memory, and then it's set like a few months after that, and they're kind of rebuilding their friendship or trying to find what happened to her or something like that. I haven't read Tanya Byrne's debut book, but I do have a copy of that, which is Afterlove. So if I like In the Shallows, I might think about picking Afterlove up soon as well. And my next physical read, I've got no idea what it's going to be. I kind of want to pick up something quick because after tomorrow I have a few days off of work until next weekend, so I kind of want to dedicate the week to reading a series that I haven't got around to reading. So that's going to be either finishing the 4 books I've got left to read in the Chestnut Springs series, because I kind of want to do kind of a themed vlog for next week. So it's either going to be a Chestnut Springs themed vlog, or it's going to be some other series. So maybe Once Upon a Broken Heart, maybe just finishing series in a week. So I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up yet, but I'll get around to that tomorrow. However, I did have some exciting book mail at work today, so that was really fun. It's actually 3 books that I've been really anticipating receiving, so I'm very, very grateful to the publishers to have sent me these. I'm only going to do a quick little sort of book mail haul thing because I want to film a actual book haul for the end of March, so I'll get more into these then. So I figure we'll go in order of least excited to most excited out of these 3 books that I've received. So this one I'm the least excited about, but I'm still excited about it, and that is The Revenant Games by Margie Fuston. This is the author's second book. Her first book was Cruel Illusions, which was a Fairy Loot pick for last year, I believe, so I do have the special edition of that. And this one is also about vampires. So Cruel Illusions was about vampires, and this one is also about vampires. So vampires are having a big resurgence. You know, we had The Scarlet Veil, we've got Tempest of Tea, and Margie Fuston's books as well, and so many more. And I'm here for this vampire resurgence. I'm loving it. So in the Revenant Games, we have 2 warring kingdoms, a witch kingdom and a vampire kingdom, and I believe that they hold an uneasy truce, except for 2 weeks a year or something like that, which is when these games are held. And in these games, any human can fight for the witches or the vampires. If they capture the most powerful vampire, then the witches will grant them a wish, and if they capture the most powerful witch, then the vampires will grant them a wish, or grant them immortality, I think. So very excited for this. So the one I am second most excited for is the Luis Ortega Survival Club by Sonora Reyes. This author wrote The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School, which was one of my favourite books of last year. Really enjoyed that. It was so brilliant. It was just really authentic and genuine, and I just love the characters so much. This one I believe is going to be a lot heavier. So this one has a lot of trigger warnings for sexual assault. I think that it's going to be quite a tough read. It is a revenge story, so this girl teams up with these other survivors of Luis Ortega to get revenge on him. It turns out that he's assaulted quite a few of the students at this school, and there are rumours spreading around about his victims, and so they decide to get revenge on him. So I'm really excited for this because I do love this author and their writing style, but this is going to be quite a heavy read. And then the one that I am most excited for is The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. This is Casey McQuiston's newest book. I am so excited for this. I absolutely love Casey McQuiston's writing. I love Red, White and Royal Blue, One Last Stop, and I Kissed Shara Wheeler. I really loved all of their books, so I'm really excited to have their newest book in a proof copy. I just think this is so pretty. It's set on a European food and wine tour, which sounds so much fun, and I think it's also second chance romance. I believe that they are exes who go on this tour and they might end up falling back in love. Oh, actually, the blurb says that they challenge each other to a hookup competition to prove that they're over each other. I just know this is going to be so good. I know it's going to have amazing banter because Casey McQuiston's books are always so funny and have such great banter between the characters. I was going to say this might be the next book I pick up, but I don't think it's short enough for what I'm wanting for just a quick read tomorrow. But it's definitely one I'm going to pick up soon because I'm really, really excited for this. This comes out in August, so I've got a while to go. So hopefully this is one that I'll get around to reading before publication date. I don't think I'm going to do any more reading tonight because I did finish Tempest of Tea and I kind of want to process it because I did really enjoy it. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a bit of editing and also do some crocheting at the same time. Unfortunately, I can't show you what I'm crocheting because it is a birthday present for my mum and she'll be watching these, but I can show you the colours I'm working with. So it is a blanket that I'm making for her birthday, and the colours are really, really pretty. I'm basing the colours off of this cushion that we've got because that was what she wanted. So I really love the colour scheme that I've chosen for this. So these are just a selection of the colours. They're just some really, really gorgeous shades of pink and of green, and her birthday is in a month, so you'll be able to see it soon. And when it's finished, I will show you the finished thing. But until then, I can't because it's a surprise and she's not allowed to see spoilers. So I will get on with that. But I'm having a great week so far. I ended up rating My Throat and Open Grave 5 stars and with a 4-star read as well. March is already turning out to be such a great reading month for me, especially in comparison to February, so yay me. So I am going to wrap up this vlog here. I have had a really great reading week this week, not as successful as last week, and I'm aware that this vlog is probably going to be a bit shorter because I just kept forgetting to film. But anyway, I finished, I believe, 4 books in this reading vlog, which was still very great, still very successful. First book I read was Valley Verified by Kyla Zhao. This was a continuation on from last week, and this was a NetGalley arc as well. And I didn't really enjoy this. I think I rated it 2.5 stars, and it just wasn't my favourite. I'm sure that there will be people out there who do like it, but I think unfortunately that this author and me we just don't gel, so I'm not sure I'm going to be continuing on with any other releases that this author comes out with. But it definitely is a book that will be for some people. I just feel like the world of tech and the world of fashion aren't really something that I care enough about to read, so that was unfortunate, and this book just didn't have a way of making me care about it either, so that was that. I also finished As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Katu, and this I rated 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this. It was really emotional, it was so heartbreaking. The only reason I docked half a star was because I didn't cry as much as I was expecting to, so my expectations were a little dampened. But other than that, it was a really, really beautiful and important read. I then read my third 5-star read of the month, which is just insane when you consider that I didn't have any 5-star reads in February, that I have had 3 in 2 weeks. We're succeeding. So that was My Throat and Open Grave by Tori Bovolino. This was just absolutely incredible, so atmospheric, so dark and creepy. I just loved it. Excellent. And the final book I finished in this reading vlog was A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. This I really enjoyed. I rated it 4 stars and I can't wait to read the second book in this duology whenever that comes out, and this has definitely motivated me to pick up We Free the Stars, the sequel to We Hunt the Flame as well. I think I might reread We Hunt the Flame first though, and then read We Free the Stars, because I don't think I was in the best frame of mind when I first read We Hunt the Flame, because I rated it, I think, 3 stars, and after reading this, I really enjoyed the author's writing stuff, so I want to give it another go. But this one was really fun, really easy to read, and the ending has left me questioning everything. I feel like I need to read some people's reviews and try and find out what exactly the ending meant, because I do feel a little bit confused about it, but mainly in the way of like, oh, did I miss something? Not in the way of this book's fault or the author's fault. A very successful reading vlog with these 2 physical books finished and 2 more NetGalley books finished. And yeah, next week is going to be a themed reading vlog. I'm going to be trying to read the entire Chestnut Springs series, so that's the last 4 books in the series because I've already read the first one. So if you like this video, then please like it and subscribe if you wanna. Bye!